I've been dating since the age of 16, and 20 years later, I'm still single. So in this video, I'm going to share with you key lessons that I wish I had learned before entering the dating scene to avoid losing time. So lesson number one is surround yourself with mentors, whatever your age. I started to date at the age of 16, and at the time I was just a teenager. I didn't know what I was doing, okay? And with no surprise, 6 months into the relationship, I decided that it was over and I broke up. And after that first relationship, I went into a second one, then a third, a fourth, and a fifth one. And this is how you do one relationship after another, and you wake up in your 30s single. And so I wished I had experienced people who would teach me the game of love, who would advise me and guide me so that I would actually save time, like 20 years. It's really about learning from their mistakes and their successes so that you really speed up your love life, especially when you come from a broken or traumatized family. It could be that your parents are divorced, or your family may be united like mine, but your parents, they keep fighting and yelling, and so they were not role models of love, right? So you don't know actually what true love looks like and respect too, so you risk entering toxic relationships. And so that's my first recommendation, is that don't go alone in your dating journey. My second lesson to speed up your love life is avoid dating by insecurity. That first guy that I dated when I was 16, I was with him by insecurity, not because I loved him, actually. Since the age of 12, I had witnessed all my classmates who would be close, who would bond around the topic of dating. It was a lot of gossiping, like, have you heard about Jane and Peter who are back together again? And have you heard about Steve who just broke up? And blah, blah, blah. And naturally, as I was a different child, because I was the cliche of the geek, smart, top of the class, and well-behaved child, I was naturally excluded. And I think I'm a pretty confident person in general, but if there is one area where I let insecurity seep in, it was my love life. I chose to date him because I was finally interesting in the eyes of a boy, and a cute boy. And I had the opportunity to finally become like everyone else, a cool kid. And what is the result? We ended the relationship. My mistake is that I tried to fit in. And when I say this, is that I see, not just in that relationship, but in all my experiences, because I was almost always the one who broke up. I see a link between your dating intention, the reason why you choose to be with someone, and the result of it. Like, does it end, or do you decide to continue and get married, right? Your dating intention can make or break the relationship. It's what makes the difference between a billionaire couple who owns multiple businesses and who impacts millions of lives worldwide, and a miserable, unhappy couple in their 40s, and a divorced single over 60 who risks ending alone. Like, why? And what are you with this person for? Study yourself, your intention, so you avoid losing time and you avoid ending alone in your 30s. Be clear on what you want from a relationship. Which leads me to the third point. Be clear on your ideal partner. You know, clarity is key to success. It's true in everything, including your love life. And I like to compare it with when you go grocery shopping. You have prepared your grocery list before entering the supermarket, so you don't waste time wandering between the aisles and suddenly you find yourself with an additional chocolate bar in the cart, or a bottle of Coke, or pastry. You avoid losing time, money, and health. Because let's be honest, when you impulse buy in general, it's not super healthy. So there is power in getting ready, getting clear. Prepare yourself before entering the dating arena, so you gain time, you save your sanity because of multiple breakups, and maybe also you save money if you invested a lot financially in that relationship. And between, I want to announce to you that this Sunday, the 13th of March, I host a Design a Relationship That Lasts free workshop. So together as a community, we can get more ready for our next best relationship. This workshop is for singles who are finally ready to take ownership of their love life and prepare for it. So if it is your case, go in the description box below and sign up. The fourth love advice that I would give you to save you time in your love life is, for women, stay virgin. And for men, please respect women and their virginity. Okay. Now, if you tell me, well, I'm not virgin anymore, especially if you are over 30, wait a minute, okay, because there is something for you in here. I decided to lose my virginity at the age of 26, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I regret it, to be honest. And at the same time, I'm glad because it gave me many years of evidence that virginity is highly prized by men. Like, if you are virgin and you tell it to a guy, he will absolutely want to get you in bed. Like, virginity increases your value by 10, 20x. And so a virgin is attractive, and with equal qualities, she is more attractive than a woman that is not virgin. And so when I lost my virginity, I truly felt like I lost like something that made me special, that set me aside from other women, and that made me special in the eyes of a guy. So if you are still intact, I would highly invite you to continue to protect yourself and do not give your body away to anybody. And for those of us who are not virgin anymore, please don't think that, oh, because I am not a virgin anymore, like, anyway, it's lost, like, let's do it with the next guy or with anyone. Because just like a woman who is virgin learns to say no to a man to protect her virginity, a high-value woman will always be defined by her ability to say no. So I agree that maybe that physical piece of you is gone and you can't repair it, you can't do anything about it, but you can still save your dignity, girl. You can still raise your value by saying no to a man. Your no is your value. The fifth and last advice that I would have to help you save time in your love life is, do not accept gifts from your boyfriend, at least not blindly. So I ended the first relationship, right? Then with almost no transition, I went into a second one. And that guy, he was a champion at spoiling me with gifts. Like, he would invite me weekly in restaurants. He would offer me gifts and we would visit places together. Like, he splurged money on me and on our relationship. And this actually backlashed at me several years later because we reconnected. And he told me something like, do you know that I have given you nearly 10,000 euros of gifts? And I was like, the audacity. Because one, I was still a child at the time, so I had no clue of what was happening. And also, giving is a choice and it is free, even when it costs you 10,000 euros. And so that's my last lesson is, as a woman, be very aware of how much you are being given. And same for the guy, be very conscious of how much you give presents, so you avoid potentially losing in that relationship, right? And I think that it boils down to really dating mindfully at every step of the relationship. Be very cautious of every step that is made in that relationship. It can be financial, it can be emotional, whatever is invested in that relationship, so you ensure there is reciprocity. A relationship can only be successful if there is reciprocity. It doesn't mean that the girl needs to invite the man as much as he does. She needs to put as much money on the table as him. But it's more that, are you able to reciprocate his love, his way of loving you in any shape or form? It can be through words, it can be through one of the love languages, but it starts with, do you love him first? Isn't it too early to invest that much? So it is about giving equally on both sides at every stage of the relationship, so that both parts keep respecting themselves. And one thing that you can do, I dislike it, but I have done it, at least to make the guy aware of, hey, you see, you have invited me for a coffee, for 2 coffees, for a dinner. Like, don't you think that it is like enough? But I propose to pay for the drink. I don't let the guy pay constantly. at least at the beginning stage of the relationship. When I am unsure of the feelings, so those were my 5 tips on how to buy back time in your love life. It is mainly about studying your dating intention. Get ready before entering the relationship, right? It will save you tremendous time. And have the humility of being accompanied in your dating journey. Remember, this Sunday, I host the Design a Relationship That Lasts free workshop. I would be very glad to see you there to prepare for your next best relationship. I see you there. Bye.